If you are not thinking international, you are not thinking business management. Welcome to PIM MBA UAE 2015 Team 4 presentation on international business. Rise and fall of Nokia from international business perspective. Just 2 weeks ago, HMD Global announced the launch of 3 smartphones with the brand Nokia, and they also gave rebirth to their legendary 3310 model with the Snake game. If you go back a few years, in the press conference announcing the Microsoft takeover of Nokia brand, Nokia CEO in an emotional speech said something very interesting. We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. How is that possible? Maybe they didn't also doing something right. In 2007, Nokia owned thumping 49% of global mobile market share. And if you're old enough to hold a mobile phone at that point, holding a Nokia phone was a status symbol. How did they climb that pinnacle of success in the international business arena? Maybe they had the right strategy for the international business. They did the devices for the masses. They moved into the emerging markets early, and they had a localized strategy with a global vision. We can see in 2007, like we said, Nokia owned 49.4% of the global mobile market share. And by 2013, they are only 3%. How is that possible? What went wrong? These are the questions we need to ask. Did they fail to understand the customer's requirement or the trends? Or did they focus on something wrong while their competitors were focusing on something right? We need to find answers. I'm going to invite my colleagues to first take us through the rise of Nokia, and then another group of colleagues to take us through the fall of Nokia. First of all, I'm going to introduce Tushara and Sajiva to take us through rise of Nokia and the reasons behind the success from international business perspective. Thank you, Sajiva and Tushara. We are discussing Nokia case, how Nokia rise to the top and then crash down in the global market from the international business perspective. Can you please give us a little bit of history on rise of Nokia and some reasons from your perspective why Nokia was such a success in the international market?
Yes, George. I think Nokia is a global phenomenon because that is the company effectively defined the mobile industry. Nokia, aware of the globalization, they understood the companies who think globally have the competitive advantage, and therefore they sustained. In 1979, Nokia embarked on a portfolio expansion where they entered into a joint venture with Scandinavian color TV manufacturer Sonora. Since then, some major breakthroughs happened, such as world's first international cellular system, world's first car phone, world's first handheld mobile, which is called Mobira Cityman 900, and dubbed as Godba. And again, year 1991 was a remarkable year for Nokia, because that was the year first GSM call was made by using Nokia equipments. I think those are the history of Nokia.
That's very interesting. It looks like Nokia has done a lot in the world from the technology perspective.
Yeah.
Can you also give us your take on how Nokia was able to do such wonderful things and be so innovative and climb the ladder in the international market arena?
Yeah, in 1990, Nokia high management thought that they should focus on mobile phones and telecommunication. As a result, they wound up the other businesses they were into. And again, year 2001, Nokia was the market leader by far. And they captured the market from Scandinavian countries to Europe to USA to, and then to Asia and to Middle Eastern countries. And by then, international trade and the globalization has been the way forward. And the connectivity has become the essential and not a luxury. Also, the factors that contributed to success of Nokia was their core competencies, such as culture. Nokia had a great culture, a great multinational culture, where they encouraged entrepreneurship, that eventually led to a lot of innovations. Also, they spent heavily on Nokia's foreign direct investments and their investment into research and development. Nokia had set up 10 factories in 9 countries and 50% of their research and developments in outside Finland. So that was able for them to capture foreign markets. Also, Finland government's involvement and their protectionism policies. The Finland government spent a lot on innovation, where Nokia has been a part of those projects. Also, they entered into certain protectionism agreements such as investment, promotion, and protection agreement with major countries such as India, Indonesia, and China. I think that's it from me on the rise of Nokia.
Thank you, Sanjay. It looks like from your insights, there has been a lot of internal as well as external factors that has contributed to the success of Nokia, including some of the government policies and some of the actions that the government took to help the internal business. Is that what do you think?
Yeah. That's what I thought. Like, that how the Finland government they backed Nokia from the inception, and even when they're at their peak, like that how they invested on research and development and how they created the so-called knowledge economy and their investment and promotion and protection agreements. Those are remarkable, and can say that those are the key factors of rise of Nokia.
That's very interesting. Now let me ask Tushara, what do you think, from your opinion, the things that Nokia did right, and how did Nokia rise to the top at that point?
Okay. Before that, Ajwat will see some figures, show that how Nokia was globalized. So I'm considering about the 2015 figures, okay, and at that time Nokia was having 61,656 employees across the 120 countries, okay, and they were doing the business in more than 115 countries, and they had the annual revenue of around 12.73 billion euros, and Nokia was a public limited company listed on Helsinki Stock Exchange and also in New York Stock Exchange. And it is the world 274th largest company. And when we think about their major milestones of global entries, okay, and as you know, the population-wise, the China and India is in first two. Okay, and from 1985, so Nokia was trying to enter into China, but it was so hard to enter. But with the globalization, so they were able to enter into the China like end of 1990s.
That must have been a big milestone for Nokia.
Yes,
considering
because
the market size.
Yes, because that is their second largest market after the USA. And also, the Nokia entered into India in 1995, which is their third large market in the world. And also, that is in terms of their sales. So when you consider about Nokia production, so for the Nokia production, globalization has been helped in a lot of ways. Like, so Nokia was doing their production in Germany some times ago, but due to the high cost, so they decided to move their production into Romania on 2008. And also that was because of international business. And
So Nokia has been really a global company at
yes.
that time.
So international business helped them in a different ways to rise in the global market. So next, okay, we'll talk about their strategies in terms of international business. So the first is merge with another company. So if you think about they are merging with Nokia to Siemens, okay, and it was a very big and very useful strategy for them because, and with that they were able to give, deliver good product to the customer. And also Nokia had acquiring another companies as well, and that was in their strategy as well. And the Nokia Navtech, okay, Navtech was a good company in terms of navigation, and it was the big milestone in Nokia to acquire Navtech because and that time it was a good market for navigation. And also they had a good strategy for partnering with good market leaders. Like they had good partnering or collaborating with Symbian to make their own customized operating system for them. And also let's talk about what is the cultural adaptation. So when you go to India, so India is very the dusty country. So they introduced a dust-proof phone in India, and yeah, and it was booming in the market because people realized that it's a good product and it suit to their culture.
There's a very good adaptation, I think, for the local market from
Yes.
perspective.
And also they introduced a torch, the small light in the phone. So because that even in Sri Lanka, people used to have a torch, at the night time.
That helps a lot sometimes.
Yes.
Of course, yes.
So it was very good product for the Indian market. And if you see Chinese market, okay, and China, so they don't really use English. So they introduce Chinese letters, and if you remember, and we saw the singular letters also in Sri Lankan fonts. Okay, and next we'll talk about their corporate responsibilities. Okay, as a company, Nokia was a leader in recycling, and also they had China. They had received a global recognition, and they were considering it as a China headquarters, which is greenhouse, and they were introducing a lot of recycling program to help the environment.
Given the number of devices in the market at that
Yes.
point, this must have been a big thing, of course, from the environment perspective.
Okay, and
Okay. Thank you, Tushar and Sajeev. I think that was very good insight as to how Nokia's strategies in the international market helped to climb the ladder to achieve the top. Now, it's going to be very interesting for us to also find out how such an innovative company with so much of support really came down to the bottom and had to sell off its brand. I'm going to introduce our next panel, Hisham, Kasun and Suranga, to take us through the next part of the presentation to talk about fail of Nokia. Thank you, Hisham, Kasun and Suranga. Now, in this part of the presentation, we are going to talk about fail of Nokia. We are going to focus on three different areas: strategy, technology, and the people as three different perspectives for reasons behind fail of Nokia. Let me start with you, Hisham. Can you take us through the strategy part? Where did Nokia go wrong? How did they fail?
Sure, Ajwal. Before I take you through the strategy part, I'll just give you a slight introduction about international business. International business, as per Daniel and Redberg, it is commercial transactions carried out by private and governmental organizations across national boundaries. Nokia is in international business. Okay, they are exposed to international competition. Let me go through their market share. In 2007, they had a market share of 49%. If you see in 2013, they had a market share of 3%. Over the period of time, they dropped their market share. Let's discuss the strategies, the strategic decisions they took during this period and the negative effect they received with the decisions. Symbian is a UK-based software company. In 2002, Nokia released a Symbian-based phone, and the market response was positive. In 2007, Apple, they launched their iPhone with iOS, and Samsung, they launched with Android in 2008. So this situation was alarming for Nokia, where they decided to go with Symbian in 2008 to have an open source code platform.
So they did something about that at that point.
Exactly, yes, they did it. But it didn't work as what they expected. In 2010, only they were able to complete their software. By that time, Apple and Samsung already they were eating the market share of Nokia.
So it was very slow from the international
Indeed.
business perspective.
Indeed, yes. So Nokia, they failed to be proactive and their reactive strategies were too late. Strategic partnership with Microsoft, it's a US-based company. Ajwal, let me ask you a question. To have a strategic partnership with US-based Microsoft software, what would be the reason?
Well, let me guess. I think Microsoft had a very good brand name and a very well-known company. Probably they thought having a partnership with Microsoft would help them gain the lost market share.
Exactly, you're on the point. But as we all expected, it didn't work. It worked the other way around, where instead of gaining the market share, they lost the market share. If I take you back again, the same market share, in 2011 they announced their partnership. At that time they had a market share of 23%. But again in 2013, the market share dropped for 3%.
So that was a bad move.
It was a bad move indeed. That was the biggest mistake done by Nokia. The biggest threat came from US and South Korean companies. If Nokia to compete in Finland market, basically they will not have any competition. Because they are exposed into international business, they had this competitive environment and the consequences was bad.
So the competition was coming from two different parts of the world.
Exactly, one is from Western, basically it's the US, and the other is from Eastern, it's a Korean base. Then government support for the local brands, where Finland government supported Nokia for some extent, and South Korean government is supporting Samsung at the moment, and India is an emerging economy where Indian government is supporting their local manufacturers like Micromax and Carbon. So this has been another emerging issue for existing market players like Apple and Samsung for the market share competition. So globalization has been blessed and it can be a biggest threat too. in international business.
Now, I think I'm going to ask Kasun to take us through the next part of this interesting discussion. Kasun, what do you think Nokia did wrong?
Yes, Ajwat. There's a famous saying that success is the biggest enemy. So it seems like without coming up with proper and industry rival kind of technology innovations, it seems like Nokia supported that statement. So before take you through the what they have done wrong or what they did not do in terms of the technology part, I just want to make the grounds using this five forces model related to smartphone business. Globalization or world becoming flat, or the other words, borderless trade was not new terminologies to Nokia, because they used this terminology very well at the time of their success of the business in the early stages.
Yeah, they really gained the market share in a global market.
Yeah, that's right. But I think that there's one part which they did not properly pick, which is the fastly moving technology development of this smartphone business.
Okay.
So, because of this fast moving and rapidly growing technology part of this business, potential of new entrants and buyers bargaining power, as well as the industry rivalry, was very powerful. So there, I think that Nokia failed drastically to create these powers. So let's move to the technology part now. So, say for an example, Nokia's first mobile phones like 3310 and the later game-changing devices such as iPhone and also Nokia's N8 or N9 were very much different from one perspective, which is the later ones has more technology, more software-driven phones. So Nokia's competitors such as iPhone, Samsung, and as well as Google, they read these characteristics very well, and they were able to come up with great innovations and technology innovations where Nokia failed. And as well as they didn't know that they needed their own operating systems, where Apple had their iOS and Google had their new operating system, and also Samsung moved to Android version. Then, in terms of the softwares, great software such as WhatsApp, Viber, Imo came to these platforms such as iPhone, iOS, and also Android had these software, but Nokia's platform did not have these software.
We didn't hear about WhatsApp and Viber when Nokia was dominating the market.
Yeah, but I have my personal experience. It was year 2011. I had Nokia N9, where I was searching for Viber and WhatsApp. I did not find there. As a result, I go for some other brand. So
we can't live without WhatsApp and Viber these days.
that is what my understanding. Nokia did not read the importance of this kind of internet-driven communication technology, and that is the major reason they failed in this technology part. That's what from me, Ajwat.
Now let me come to you, Suranga. What about the people factor behind Nokia's failure?
Yes, Ajwat. Let's see how people has involved to failure of Nokia. Culture and interest of business cannot separate. And there was a power distance between the top level managers and the operation level managers. Whenever operation level managers use any idea or new innovation to the top level managers, always they were declined. We can clearly see there was a power distance between the top level managers and the operation level managers.
That doesn't really sound like a good idea for an innovation-driven company.
Exactly. And then there was a turning point in Nokia. Oli-Pekka is the good CEO in Nokia's history. He has got the Nokia in the world leading brand, and then they have got a huge financial losses. Because of that, in 2010, Elop has came to the picture as Nokia new CEO. Then what Elop has done once he joined to Nokia?
Elop came from Microsoft, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Exactly. He has came from Microsoft. He has worked in Microsoft Business Development Department, and he has joined to Nokia.
Okay.
Right? Then Nokia decided to stick only to Windows OS 4. That was the disaster for the Nokia failure. And the Nokia and Windows Phone failed to attract the new market in the new market tree.
Yeah, I can remember. That was not a very good strategy from Nokia.
Yeah. And during the third year of the Elop, revenue has dropped down 40%, profit has dropped down 95% as well. And in the international business perspective, there was an issue in the unethical attack
From Microsoft.
Because as I said earlier, Elop has came from Microsoft to the Nokia. Why he has came? He has came to develop the company or destroy the company.
Definitely, I think he wanted to break down the value of the business so that Microsoft can take over.
Exactly. We can clearly identify now why Elop has came to the Nokia. He has came to destroy the company, and it helps to buy the Nokia as Microsoft wants. And then finally, Microsoft announced that they have bought the company for 7.2 billion, and that was the unethical attack from Microsoft in international business perspective.
Thank you, Suraka. And I will call Kapila to summarize the failure of Nokia. Kapila, I think you have been listening to this interesting conversation on rise and fall of Nokia. Can you summarize the reasons behind the failure of Nokia?
For sure, Advait. I think I can summarize in few points the failure of Nokia. The first thing which comes to my mind is Nokia fails to understand the globalized trade competition. And secondly, they were too much believing in the strength of their brand. And they were completely blind to the outer world. And they were just driving on their brand strength. Then thirdly, the poor understanding of market trends. They were not being able to see this Android operating system based phones, Samsung coming in, and then iOS operating system based Apple coming in as a threat for them.
They were setting the trend actually.
Exactly. And then the next point would be the lack of innovation. They were just focusing on their hardwares, nothing on softwares. They were just trying to come up with the different devices, but no added value in that. So that is where they fail miserably, the way I see it. Then last but not the least is the leadership. The Elop coming into Nokia world, and he destroyed the company completely. Rather than taking it to the next level, he was taking the company down. And finally they had to sell the company to Microsoft for a nominal value of $7.2 billion, being a market leader to probably the lowest end player in the market at the end, which is a very unfortunate story for Nokia.
So Nokia is trying to come back. Let's hope that it will come back with more innovations and give us more things from Nokia. Now, the globalization seems to be a blessing as well as it could be a big threat if it is not used in a right way. That's it from us. Thank you for listening and have a very good day.